So I've gone ahead and opened up the OE payroll file, and I have saved it as 6-OE payroll. We have quite a few formulas to enter into this. The formulas are similar to what we did back in Chapter 2, but the gross pay formula is much, much simpler because all we're going to do is take the hourly rate and multiply it by the hours. So we're going to key in an equal sign because this is a calculation. We're going to click on the hourly rate. We're going to do the asterisk, and we're going to click on the hours. And we're going to press enter. There is no figure for overtime, so we don't have to worry about overtime. And then we will click on that result and fill that down. And we'll go to withholding tax. And for withholding tax, that would be the gross times the withholding tax rate. So we're going to do an equal sign, click on gross, asterisk for multiplication. I'm going to click down here on the withholding rate. And in order for us to copy this, we do need to use absolute cell referencing. Now, as we copy this down, the column won't change, but the row will. We definitely do not want the row to change because we need it to look at this cell. So for your referencing, I'm going to press F4. If you want to put dollar signs in front of both, that is fine. But you really only need the dollar sign in front of the 11. Okay, and remember, the F4 key cycles you through absolute cell referencing. So you either need the dollar in front of both the column and the row, or just in front of the row, because when we copy down, the row is what changes. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And then I'm going to click on that result. I'm going to grab the fill handle and drag it down. And then if we look, you can see that it is still looking at B11, even though I just put the dollar in front of the 11. And that's because when you copy down, the column isn't going to change. Okay? The row typically changes, and putting the dollar in front of the row forced the row to remain static. So now we're going to go to the tax. And the tax is going to be the gross times the Social Security tax rate. So we're going to do an equal sign, click on gross, asterisk for multiplication, and we're going to click on that Social Security rate. And this is another one that when we copy down, we do not want the row to change. So I'm going to press F4, and then I'm going to press F4 again to put the dollar in front of the 12. Because when I copy down, that is what would normally change, and I do not want the 12 to change. So I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to click up on that calculation, grab the fill, and whoop, I'm going to grab the fill instead of the move, and I'm going to fill it down. And then if you look, you'll notice that the 12 remains stationary, which is exactly what we want. Then for our net, the net should be the gross minus the withholding minus the Social Security. So we're going to start that one with an equal sign as well. And there's a couple ways you could actually do this. I'll show you. So we've got the gross, and we could subtract out withholding and subtract out Social Security. It does follow the algebraic order of evaluation, so it's going to do this first, take the result, and subtract out Social Security. So that's one way of creating this formula. Another way to create the formula, and the result will be the exact same, would be to take the two tax figures and add them together, and then subtract that from gross. And we are going to end up with the exact same result. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you subtract each one or if you choose to add them together. and subtract the taxes as a group from the gross. Either way, result is the same, and we can fill this down. Now they want us to go into sheet 2. Actually, I lied. We need to format first. I'm going to select D4 through G4. And for this little range of cells, they want the accounting format. And we're going to go ahead and save. And now we're going to go into sheet 2. And they want a little calculation here under amount due. So you want to activate cell F4. And it is a calculation, so you need an equal sign. We're going to click on D4. And we are going to multiply this. Multiply. And in parentheses, what we are multiplying it by is 1 plus E4. Okay, so we've got equal D4 times, and in parentheses, we have 1 plus E4. And they want us to activate the cell and go ahead and apply that accounting format. They don't tell us to fill this down, but I believe they do want it filled down. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll change F5 through 17 to comma. And we're going to go into sheet 3. And they want a formula up in due date. And they want to calculate the purchase date plus the number of days in the terms column. So it's an equal sign because it's a calculation. I'm going to click on D4, which is our purchase date, plus sign for addition, click on terms, which is the number of days, and we're going to press enter. And the reason this works is because dates are stored as numbers, okay? And that is done intentionally so you can do arithmetic on dates. And now, even though it doesn't say to fill this down, we are going to because it only makes sense. And let's save our changes. And our next step is going to be to apply some formatting. So we're going to go back to sheet 1. And we're going to select A11 and A12, okay, which are basically row headings. They want us to go into cell styles. And they want us to take a look at how these different styles look in that selected text area. And the one they want us to pick is called check cell. It is in the very first section here, and it is column 2. So let's go ahead and select that. And then they want us to select cells B11 and 12, which are the percentages. And then they want us to go back in here. And under data and model, they want output selected. And we'll kind of click away. And at this point, we are going to save.